Okay, so in this video, we're going to go over how to go through your homework assignments. So the first thing, you've already seen in the intro video how to navigate to them. So I'm just going to pop down to 2.1, open it up. Now you'll notice I'm working in a class that's already done. So it's saying it's in review mode because it's past due. You'll see how to work with that and what that means later in a later video. But the one key thing you'll notice is this assignment's already past due, but I'm in here and I'm able to come in here and do the problems as if I have never done the homework. So it's good for practice. Just so you know, you can always go back and do any old homework for practice. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is some problems will have a choice here where it says get help video. These are the devil. Do not click on them. Do not ever use them. The only time you should ever use that get help video is when you have already done the problem, you think you've done it right, you did not get it marked right. You've done it again, you've looked for your errors in your work, you've worked through it as much as you can, you've gone to the tutoring center, you've asked me for help, you've whatever it is. This should be something that you are not clicking straight off. This is something you're clicking when you are sure you're doing it right and you want to find the error in your work. The most common issue students have is they click this get help and they learn how to do the problem by watching the video instead of using critical thinking and thinking about what did I learn in the section and how do I relate that to what I'm seeing on the page. The problems in here will not look the same as what we did in the notes, and that's on purpose because you are not supposed to just be mimicking a method. If you're mimicking a method, you are going to fail the tests. The tests are not going to have one problem on them that is the same as what you've seen in the homework. So you have to get used to looking at a new situation and saying, how do I relate what I learned to this homework problem? Okay. Do not use these. Last resort. Okay. Now, that being said, you say, I'm trying the problem and I need help. Okay. So do you notice at the bottom of every problem, there's this little link here that says message instructor about this question. So if you say I'm trying the problem and I don't know how to do it, well, notice first things first, it gives me a little printout of your problem. You don't have to worry about sending it to me, and I now know which question you are talking about. So all you need to do is in here and say, I need help. Okay, that's all you have to do. Now, in here, I should say. Now, what you do need to do is upload me a picture of your work. And you will remember from your OneNote video that you've already watched, and if you haven't already watched it, it comes up later, there's a tutorial on how to upload a picture in OneNote. So now the only thing you need to understand about OneNote is where you're going to upload it. So when you go into your folder, you'll notice there was let me go to the 212. There was notes, homework, tests. You're going to go to your homework section and you are going to have a new page in here and you can call it whatever section you're working on, 2.1. Now in here, this is where you're going to insert a picture and whoops, don't do that. You are going to grab the picture of your work wherever you saved it and upload that. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. Okay, now let's get rid of that. There we go. You'll upload that. Then I know you've uploaded a picture to me because in here you told me you need help. Uploaded picture in OneNote. That's all you should be typing in here. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. I want everything in OneNote. Okay, you hit send message. Whoops, excuse me. Don't forget to say who you're going to send it to. Now, the good news for you in this little drop down, you have one choice. It's me. So it's not that hard. So you hit send message and boom, I now have the message. It's need help. I can show the problem. And because you sent it this way, I can actually go straight to, I'm getting a little message saying I sent a message. I can see the problem. I can go to the gradebook. So if it's not completely displaying right, I can go to the gradebook and check it out, get there that way. So nonetheless, that's how you use the message your instructor. The idea is to make it as easy as possible to send me pictures, and that's why we do it through OneNote. Okay. Now, that aside, let's talk about how do you actually submit a problem? How do you actually do this? Well, first things first. Let me see if I can get a little more standard looking problem. Here we go. All right, so you're going to do this problem. first thing you're going to do is type in your answer. Let's say you think your answer is 3x. Now notice this preview button is going to tell us that 3x is a syntax error. Check your variables. You might be using an incorrect one. So before you hit submit and try and get credit for the problem, this is your big tip off of what you typed in the system's not recognizing. So sometimes you typed in an X, but the problem had a T or something like that. This is to make sure you're typing in the right variable before you drive yourself crazy trying a problem over and over where you have the right answer, but you've accidentally just used the wrong letter. So that being said, now I have typed in the number 3. It's automatically telling me the syntax is okay. We're good to go. Now what I can do is hit submit, and I got it wrong. So I got a little red X. If I were to get it right, which I don't know, let's find out what the answer is. That's what the answer is. Holy goodness. I got to type that in, and I should get a green check. Now, because I know the language, I could go ahead and type this in like this, and that should do it. But notice here on the side, it's showing me you typed in this. This is how I'm interpreting that. And you'll notice I know what the answer should be. So now that matches. So I hit submit and I get a green check. I know I did it right. Now, some of you may be saying, wow, I don't want to have to type in my answers like that. When I do it on paper, it doesn't look like that. Well, that's what this little up arrow is for. When you click on this, notice this is kind of the way for you to visually type it in how it makes sense to you. So if I had a fraction, I would click on the fraction, and I'd say it was -1. Then down in the denominator, I forgot what I'm supposed to be doing here. It was, there we go. It was 9h plus 81. So now when I hit save, notice it will fill it all in for me. So that little up arrow is what helps you type in more complicated formulas or equations, and then also it gets you your special little symbols, pi and infinity, square roots, and so you get the idea. And we don't do trig, so you don't have to worry about those, but I hope this gets the idea. So how you type in natural log, you may not know, but if you wanted to type in natural log of x, and you'll see, oh, it was kind of logical, ln of x. Other things are less logical. For example, let's do the cubed root of 4x. If you were to look at that, you may not have known it was written as root parenthesis 3 parenthesis the argument 4x, but that's why this little up arrow thing rocks. Okay, so inputting an answer, got it. Submitting your answer, got it. Okay, red X, no credit. Green check, credit. You will notice when it is not in review mode, when your scores are actually saved, these will change from 0 out of 1 to 1 out of 1. At that point, once that changes to a 1 out of 1, you have your credit. There's nothing you need to do other than be done and shut down your computer, whatever you want to do. You have your credit. Okay, so last thing I want to say about your homework. Homework is a self-evaluative process. This is for you to be learning. This is for you to be understanding whether or not you understand what's going on. If you do it with a tutor, if you have somebody else helping you, you have completely circumvented the whole purpose of this. It is not to try to get a grade in the class. That is not the point of homework. You are going to fail the tests, okay? It's for you to struggle and work your way through and go through the process. This is supposed to be one of the more time-consuming parts of the class. You should not be finishing the homework in 10 minutes and moving along, okay? If you don't know how to do a problem, you need to come and ask me for help on creating a lesson on how to help you, or showing me your work so I can help you create a little thing for you so I can help you figure out where your whole understanding is. If you don't do it that way, you'll probably struggle significantly in the class, especially on the tests, and you'll be very frustrated. So please, please, please use the homework how it's supposed to be intended, by doing it yourself and struggling. You should struggle. That is unfortunately part of homework, and part of learning is about struggle. It's good. Struggling is good. Okay, so if you have any other questions about homework, please feel free to ask me, but I wanted to get you the basic overview. So you'll notice your questions are here on the side, so you can click on your questions and go through each of them. You'll notice there are not very many questions in the homework, so again, they shouldn't be daunting. You should be able to get them all done. And you get unlimited attempts. So So I don't want you stressing out about on the third attempt I start losing credit. No, I want you to just work your way through it and work your way through the process. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. And best